out like a tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, separates, wakes up. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station light, shaking with fear. Okay, if we do 6 more things, we'll piss them off. Hello! Shotgun Squirrel here, and welcome back to another episode of 1 Hour In. Today we're playing Citizen Sleeper. And yeah, this game looks awesome. Every time I'm going through the Xbox Game Pass, I'm looking for games to put on the series. And there's a queue of games that I'm like, okay, I'll get to this one, I'll get to this one. And some that I'm less interested in, so they get pushed back every so often. And then there's games like this, which immediately jump to the front. And I was like, yep, I'm definitely playing this one next. It seems to be a sci-fi like RPG game, but all about making decisions, choices. Apparently it says it's inspired by tabletop RPGs. I'm a big D&D fan, so yeah, I like, even in the logo you see you've got the 1 hexagon, 2 hexagon, 3 hexagon, so forth. So it's all about dice rolls and making decisions and risks and all that sort of stuff, and it just looked awesome. So I am very excited to get into this. As always, got my 1 hour timer ready to go once the game gets started. So let's go. Let's go for slot number 2. Oh, wow. Okay, so straight out the gate, we get to choose our class. Okay, so operator. I love the art style as well. Look at that. They're really cool. So an operator works with drones and high-precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleep is assigned to operate... Oh, sleep. Okay, so we're sleepers. That's like the name for like the travelers, I suppose. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. So we get a +1 to interface, which is working with digital interfaces, but we lose strength or strength of will. Okay, then we've got extractor. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. So plus endurance, lower in intuit, so approach problems with awareness. Oh, those are the only 2 options. Oh, do you think we'll unlock more as you... Oh, that's so cool if there's like replay. I don't know, maybe this is a roguelike in a way. I suppose, if you can then unlock new classes to play the game again. I don't know. But I'm going to go for operator. That sounds cool to me. So, let's go. Oh, am I starting the timer? Oh, I'm ready. Fingers over the button. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to start the timer. The first thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect. The delay between thinking and feeling. Between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. And then it says, unknown, where are you? It's at its worst when waking, when your self has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Think of that body? A leap into a cold lake on a hot day, the sting of blood welling from a fresh wound, the friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden, the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach until you can't tell one from the other. Okay, so are we in a machine then, but our mind was originally like human? The cold slips in, behind and around you, and the sensation fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dulled nature of this new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of the container feel immediately present, cold, hard, at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain at least. In emergency mode, so that should have a comment, shouldn't it? In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. This is really well written. I'm enjoying this. Remember the plan. Let's remember the plan. You mostly remember that it wasn't a good plan, but your options were limited. And once you get the itch to get out, by any means possible, it was either that plan or something much worse. It was at least simple. Collapse the shaft, drift away in the chaos, slip into cargo processing, seal yourself inside the containers, then just hope the freighter left before you were missed. Some were lost in the shaft, others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers, but the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough. Enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reached any destination. Okay, so we were sort of on maybe some sort of prison place, or maybe some slave labor or something, and we've escaped on a freighter that was leaving the planet. and manage to get onto this place. Cool. Wait for the cold. Try to rest. Neither of those seem smart if we're worried about dying. But let's not wait for the cold, so let's try to rest. At least do something. But you are restless. It has been a long time since you left. Surely weeks, maybe months. You are duly aware? Yeah, duly aware. You are aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible, but even then your body has shut many of its systems down to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. Maybe we're not a robot, maybe we're just in a suit. You feel the weight of the impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. No, okay, we are a robot then. Time passes, the cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigour. Sound too, everywhere, screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its senses. Then light, white as the cold, then softer and softer until in a haze of dirty yellow a figure appears. You are out. Oh, fuck, okay. This is gorgeous. Look at this. Are we on like a ring station? A bit like a Halo ring, I suppose. Okay, pragmatic salvager. So that's the person that's just met us, I'm assuming. Hey, there he is. Look at him. Legend. It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled... Dragos? Let's go for Dragos. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a Mylia blanket. You are slowly coming back to the consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges, where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice.
So, Sleeper, you all thawed yet?
Almost.
Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have better
oh my god, my voice. My mouth. can't make the words.
New frames must have better perseverance in sub-zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky.
Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech, his headset with its glinting eyes, the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches, its irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare. Ah, he's got little companions.
Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long.
You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but it seems lost in memory for a moment, or perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. I plan to survive. I like that. That's a strong response. You aren't sure if he hears you.
I want to ask what led you to do it, to sell yourself to a corporation, and I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now, and you were just software.
A rogue emulation, illegally possessing corporate property. Okay, so we are in a body, we then sell our mind so we can pilot a robot. Okay. You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells, the promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You are an offshoot, a copy.
What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. X and ARP wants to protect their property, but if they can't keep hold of it, well, then no one can.
Okay, so they put some... there you go. Planned obsolescence. You remember that too, or at least rumours of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence. A built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them and your body begins to shut down, separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have?
But for now, Sleeper, you are one of the lucky ones.
Dragos glances up and away towards the glassy dome of the yard.
The eye is in the best place you could be right now.
Okay, so this is the eye. I could have been silent the whole time. That'd be poor Dragos being not having a particularly fun conversation.
The station. You'll see soon enough.
Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look,
I've got things to be getting on with. He trails off. There's an old freight... Oh, sorry, that's him again. There's an old freight container I've been using as storage out in the shacks. Out in the stacks. Apologies, everyone, again. I cannot read this. It's a lot for me to not fluff up on. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Something wells up inside of you. Emotion. Fatigue. You shakily get to your feet and nod. Alright, you head up on there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Dragos stalks back into the Rex, his dome already converging on a rusting hulk. Plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. That was very cool. Tutorial and introduction. Welcome to our Erlin's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle... sorry, my throat. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location to rest and end the cycle now. Okay. So is that home, do you reckon, there? It's very pretty, isn't it? Oh, wow, okay. So we can get upgrade points to improve stuff. So we've already got chance to gain cryo on interface actions, but we would have to put 2 points into endure to get the first one for endure. That's quite cool. Okay, so the negatives aren't too bad. They just delay you 1 upgrade point, basically. That's quite cool. All right, we'll read those things later when it becomes relevant. You're home for now. End cycle. Alright, we faded to black. Container, 4 steel walls. I love the UI, it's gorgeous. You wake, curled in the corner of the container, and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake up in now, strange and disjointed. Its message is readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? Is it possible to know? After all this, what matters? Building a life, I think. I would say that. Escape where? I mean, yeah, I think building life covers escape if escape is your best option to building a life. And getting answers, I don't know. But I guess these could choose different plot lines. But I'm going to choose building a life. Maybe you did get lucky, finding yourself here. Maybe here, on the edge of everything, there's a life for you to build. But before you can build anything, you'll need to learn to survive. Maybe if you can do that, you can make a life for yourself. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container. The mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. You thumb the power stud on the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachet smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images of your restless sleep come back to you. A ring, like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright, polygonal shapes, like angular suns, burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you finish drinking that they began to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can, and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. So, here we go. Condition, action dice, and energy. Your condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes by 1 segment each cycle. Wow, okay. But can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition breaks down, you will suffer if your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. So I'm guessing... Do we think that's the bottom? That's 1. So it's the orange. So we're flickering might be our status at the moment. We're good, but we're not 100%. And obviously, it looks like we're about 3/4 full. Action dice. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the less dice you have. Okay, so we've got... so if we dip down again, will it... Sorry about my throat. Hang on, let me just clear it. Sorry about that. The worse your condition, the less dice you have. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle.
Okay, so those we've only got 4 actions, and we've got a 5, a 4, a 4, and a 1. Energy. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar, so we've only got 2 segments. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to find somewhere to get food and currency to buy it. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. Okay. If it becomes empty, you'll be starving, and your condition will deplete at a double rate per cycle. Right, okay. Jesus, we've not started on a very good foot, have we? So let's leave. Oh, Dragos. Dragos is stood in the corridor where you, when you close up the container. He is still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor you realise it is implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How are you feeling? Let's go with okay. Well, I mean, I'm not good, I suppose. But I don't want to be too negative. This guy's helped us out, so let's not be thing. Let's go with that. The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by... to be fair, I've gone for good to hear, but thinking it was the drone, but I don't think it is. I think it was still him. The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. He pauses. So, I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Yeah, let's go for sure. Alright then, he nods. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old holes down, sell them off to the shipyards or the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally we pull out some tech, something with a bit more value, but most of what comes in is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper, you'll be used to manual labor. And obviously, I'll slip you a few chits off commission based on what you turn up. Chits? That's probably a good question to ask. These. He pulls out a handful of small metal bars. Air-walled cryo, isolated from the market. It's what we use to trade out here. He stuffs them back in his pocket. Okay, so they've got like a digital currency, but these guys have got a separate digital currency. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on as quick as you can. And sleepers, well, he trails off. But things being the way they are for me and the yard, he pauses. I need the help. We're going to go with happy to. He's helped us out. Okay. He pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. Will do. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. I think if we're going to build a life, we need to work. So I'm happy with that. What's that? Is that like a little ship? Oh, I can spin it. Oh, yes. So can we see? Oh, no, but as soon as I move... Oh, that's a shame. So I can't go sideways with it. Because as soon as I try and move, it does that. That's a shame. Alright, right. Where are we going? Drago's yard. Another one. Actions. Actions are the primary way you interact with the world of Citizen Sleeper. To perform an action, select it with the D-pad and A, and then choose an action dice to assign. So, we've got a repeatable action, which is hull dissection. Even the rustiest hull can hide valuable components and materials. Extracting them means cutting carefully and skillfully. Manual salvage. And these use particular skills. So, engineer, we've got a bonus to, or endure, which we've got a negative to. It's going to take some time to sort and cut your way through the towers of salvage, but you are no stranger to hard labour. So that's risky and that's safe. Oh. Okay. Actions reward you with clock progress, energy, condition, or items depending on the outcome. There are 3 types of outcome. Positive, the action goes better than expected. Neutral, the action succeeds. Negative, the action fails. Action dice affect these outcomes as follows. 100% chance, 50 chance. So it's always 5 is always good, or rather always worth like a... Yeah, okay, so 1 or 2 are both interesting. So 1 and 2 have no difference. That's good to know. So it's a 50% chance of neutral, 50% chance of negative. So it's a 50 of whether it will succeed or fail. Then you've got a 75% chance of failure, sorry, of success, or a 25% chance of failure. That's 3 or 4. They're the same. It's shown you by the colours as well, I see. I feel like 1 or 2 should have like a red line underneath them. Interesting. Anyway, and then of course you've got 50-50 and then 100. Okay. All right. Then you got either critical or repeatable critical action. Wait, either critical or repeatable. Oh, type. Either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be performed once. Risk. Either safe, risky, or danger. Safe. No loss of condition, energy, or cryo. Negative outcomes means cryo energy loss. Negative outcome means condition loss. Neutral outcome can mean cryo energy loss. Right, I see. So that means if we fail, it's gonna punish us, and if it's danger, even if we succeed, it could punish us. The skill that this action requires either engineer interface, enjoy, Inuit. Modifier, either a -1, 0, +1, or +2. This is added to the action dice when slotted and improves its value. Some actions require +1 to perform. Right. Okay, that's cool to know. So, if we put like a 6 in the -1, it would actually be a 5. So we've got whole dissection, which we're good at. And what's these? A debt called in. Dragos is tied up in something ugly, and he misses a payment. And if he misses a payment or something, or two thing, why can I not read that? Sorry. Dragos is tied up in something ugly, and if he misses a payment or two, things could get nasty. It's because it's missing the commas that's throwing me. And then back in business, every salvager knows they are always just one lucky haul away from the next payday. Okay, so those are telling us that they both got value to that sort of thing. Let's add a 5, because it's risky, so we want to guarantee that we'll definitely succeed. Yes, it's 50% positive, 50% neutral. There's no way that can negatively backfire on us. So let's start that action. Okay. Clocks. Right, so that's what they are. Actions often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them, and they track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Drago's debt, are cycle clocks. These clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. So that's the debt called in. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. Okay. So we got some progress. It was a neutral outcome. We got some progress for back in business. Haven't changed the debt called in, but that's probably for the best. All right, and we can keep going, I suppose. So we'll do another. We'll do the 4s, I suppose. Oh, drives and navigation. As Citizen Sleeper, you will unlock drives as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you in pursuing specific objectives, depending on which path you wish to take. You can track drives, and any track drive will place a yellow mark on locations that will help you pursue that goal. Press left bumper to see the stuff. You are now free to explore Erlin's Eye and make a life for yourself here. Try tracking a drive to help you survive. Look for food to keep your energy up and a way to recover condition. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities. Remember to end cycle at your home when you are out of dice. Okay. Do I want to check this? There's a 75% chance to fail, and if it does fail, it could really cost me something. So I've got drive as replay Dragos and survive. Okay. So what stuff have we got? Oh wow, there's Jesus, there's lots of stuff, isn't there? Holy crap. Okay. How do I get... There you go. Okay. So, construction yards. That's our house. That's Drago's yard. That's the yellow one. Old dock terminal. Dock B2. Bustling open market. Okay, we would like to find a doctor. And by the looks of things, these are both yellow because they're things that would help us do that. We do need some food is the problem. Maybe we'll earn a bit more money then. We'll do another. This is safe, but we do get a negative. So that's actually downgraded to a 3, which means that we still got a 75% chance of success, which is actually the same as before. Yeah, 3 and 4 are the same, I think, aren't they? If I remember. Is that right? So if I go over here... Yeah, 3 and 4 are the same, so actually having that downgrade doesn't matter. So let's do some salvage. Nice. And because it's safe, it's not going to actually... We just fail it. Of course, that's improved back in business. I don't want to use another one, because 1 will pretty much fail us on most things. So let's... 1's basically useless to us. Let's see what else we got going on. Helon Crossing. Merchants willing to run the gauntlet of the Helon systems are rare, but those that do always return eventually. Okay, there doesn't seem to be anything we can do here now. Dock terminal. Steel dock plans. Jesus Christ. Okay, High-Range security have to have plans. Stealing them would be the fastest way to get to know this place and the most dangerous. Yeah, we don't want to do that one. That will improve Dock Watcher, though. Getting to know the Rotunda doesn't just mean new places to visit, it means keeping an eye on new arrivals too. And the Havinge watch list. Havinge run the Rotunda, and the security watches the docks, better to avoid attracting their attention. So the Rotunda of the old docks is filled with pass-by and concourse leading to all kinds of docking bays. I've got to find a doctor. Risky with a 4. Problem is that negative risky, that could hurt me is the problem. But he's a 75, but you know, I've lost them before. What's this one? A salvage saute. It takes several cycles to reach the Star Warp belt and return. Okay, so these have all got spinners, so they're all going to naturally spin anyway. Oh, this has got the yellow above it, so there's this to find the doctor. Here we go. Ask for directions. Why wonder when there are hundreds of people that live and work within the bright market? All you need is the courage to approach them, but that's got a danger on it. And explore the market. The smells and sounds of buzzing activity on the bright market make it a dizzy place to wander, but an enticing one. Okay, and that'll improve our local knowledge, which won't complete naturally. And then what's that thing on the bottom? Lower end gate. Passage to the lower end. After some spaces cause some trouble in the lower end, yet again have imposed a toll for entry. At least that's what they say. Okay, so it's 60 cryo. We've only got 25, and that will get us to a new area. But we don't need to go to a new area. So I think... Oh, yeah, we've been to the shipyard. Assist a shipbuilder. You don't have connections, but you do have skills. If you get a shipbuilder to notice you, that you might be in... and then haul materials. Endure. As a newcomer, you can only gain favour by grabbing a load of materials and asking the nearest yard hand where to take them. Yard hand. The only way to get to know the shipyard is to work there. No tourists here. Problem is, I don't want to get screwed over by my poor dice. I do think getting to know this would be important. So maybe I should... I don't either. Explore the Rotunda. I feel like if I need a doctor, I'm going to have to go this way. And I need food as well. So we're going to explore the market. And we're just going to have to hope for the best, I think. Hey, we got a yellow. Nice. Plus local. Oh, no, it's just a positive outcome. Okay. Right, we're not going to do one. Neither of these are safe. Oh, we have found a doctor, though. Haha. Slum doctor. Next comes the call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You are thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place, but now you are here, you aren't so sure. The gang force on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hab block, they have all made the long queue a test on your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizer this body, your body will... You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract you. Don't look at the enforcer, that seems risky. Look inside. You lean against the doorframe and look into the apartment. The entryway is dark, punctuated by green indicators of stacks or sealed containers. You lean in and see amber light filtering through a far doorway screen and plastic sheeting, beyond which blurred shapes move. The slap of the enforcer's palm against the doorway jerks you awake. Wait your turn! After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway and you catch a distant voice. Send the next one in, Toshiro. The enforcer jerks his head and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the bright market's sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above, and for a moment you're transfixed by the motion. Ah, Sabine. Come, sit, comes a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted figure turned away, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak, they blink, and then quickly regain their composure. Please sit, the gesture to the bed, then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit, Sabine turns a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in her hand. They hold it to their eye. Remain still, please. The tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. How long have you been at this station? They ask, the scanner still to their eye. A few cycles? They nod. It's good you came to me. They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything. They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. Your body is dying, they say, without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. Essen ARP doesn't like to see its priority technology get loose, to prevent bodies like yours, frames as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping. They built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one which Essen ARP remains the sole producer of. They look up. Sound familiar? Yes. Good. That may help. They swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Sabine says, and you are unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or everything else. Emulations like you, sleepers as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your arm. And Essen ARP has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something. Anything. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help, they sigh, and you see the darkness under their eyes, hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Tarisho outside? You nod. He works for my benefactor, Yatagan. They are influential in the lower end. Or the low end, sorry. They give me this space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implants, sew up their wounds. They look away. But Yatagan has connections. Smugglers from the Star Ward Belt, mercenaries working for the corporations of an Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe I'll have a better chance. Sabine sets down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it will be expensive. But I think we can do it. Why help me? Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by the shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. You nod and leave. Sabine starts still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face, but the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Okay, so we've got a plot story. Sabine surgery, makeshift doctor surgery. Can't do anything with that yet. That's just going to tick by on its own. I've only got a 1. There is also a food. How much does it cost? Emphis. Emphis is busy, his broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok. His other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables in some red-flecked dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with the bright salad and depositing it in plastic trays. A stack of chits rattles in his apron pocket as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. Approach. You join the queue. It's mostly made of off-duty salvages, vac suits unzipped and rolled down to expose stained vests, grubby mods, a lattice of scars and tattoos. They discuss the best food on the eye, the best drink, comparing notes on bright market dives, their words cut through with heavy spacer slang. Eventually it's your turn and you shuffle to the front. Emphis speaks in a deep, even tone without looking up. First try is free. Am I going to get addicted to something? I guess thank him, yeah. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks the earthiness of the fungus, laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. Well, my throat sounds like I've been dealing with it. So sorry, I don't know what is wrong with me today, but my throat is terrible. Fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire and your skin hardens in its glare. I know you sleepers, Emphis says, while he cooks his voice deep but clear. A hard life, a lot of stories. He glances up from beneath his cap with pierced eyes. I know. Tell him a story. You begin to tell him about your journey to the eye and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility and its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold and dark of the container and the endless cycle spent within it. Now it seems you tell him, like some dream, that you once had but can never forget. You tell him that the eye excites you and scares you, and you are unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually you tail off, running out of words. He places a plastic tray of streaming fungus in your hand. Next time, we can talk some more. He smiles. But next time you pay. He slams a heavy hand against a button on the burner side and it shuts off. The roar of the flame and its impressive heat fades. Next time then, sleeper. He waves you away and begins to oil the wok. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across his forearms, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. Interesting. Is that in the illustration? I'm not sure. You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. Hey, we're fully fed. Woo! A new drive discovered. Get to know Memphis. Oh, I like that. That's cool. Okay. But yeah, survive is definitely our first drive. Right, I think we want to go to sleep because a 1 is... I mean, a 1 might be worth doing it because this is safe. So I guess, worst case scenario, nothing. We fail. Thank God it doesn't go to 0 because of the -1. Hey! Oh, negative outcome. We still got some money. You ache from hammering away into the scrap, and most of it crumbles into worthless rust. You call it a day early before you injure yourself. Cool. Good, good. And now we need to go get some rest. End the cycle. So per cycle, energy goes down by 2 and condition goes down by 1. So I think we're going to go down to 1 dice now, which is a shame. Yeah, to fading. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, that shifting skeletal ring, surrounds you. For a moment you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colourless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions, as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into the millions of distributed nodes. They connect to you. You see the station. No, you feel the station, like a web of texture in a smooth black liquid. Let's observe it, not touch it. Even though you have no eyes, no sight, you feel the map of the station. No, not the map of the station, but the map of its connections. It's a looped cloud with spokes and spires that jut out into space. It is... Sorry. It is an ingrown thing full of obsolete loops and severed pathways. It is a system, a map, and a territory all at once. You notice a tugging feeling, pulling at you insistently, as if they were a small child. Somehow, it is pulling you in 2 directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second and you feel it waiting there. The station splayed out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored, and then it's gone. So, is that because we were like wired into the station, perhaps? I don't know. Right, the good things are progressing. That's good. So we can talk to her in 3 things. We've got food as an option over there. Wait for Sabine to acquire stabilizer. Yep, so that's what we're doing. So we need to do this because this is a negative thing. We don't want that to complete. A debt called in. So we need to make sure our back in business is better than that, I suppose. So we've got a 4. So I reckon we use... how do I... Yeah, so use a 4 on that. And hope for a good one. Neutral outcome. Back in business. Plus 15 crypto. That's nice. Unfortunately, only a 2 and a 1 now. They're really low dice and they're not worth it risking anything, I think. We don't need food yet. So I think for now... Because I think that's the only thing that's safe. Because this isn't safe, is it? Yeah, risky and danger. Do not want to touch those. Is that the same actually here, if I remember? Yeah, risky and danger. So no, we don't want to touch any of that. So we will continue working for him, I suppose, and make what little money we can. Let's do a 1. Hey, neutral outcome. Back in business and plus 10 cryo. Very nice. And then we'll do the last one. Negative outcome. It's a shame, but we did. We got our money for the day. So we'll go back to bed now. So unfortunately now we need more food again. Our condition's going to go a little bit, but thankfully we're still... I think we got 3 more days until we go down to 2 dice. Ideally we need to fix ourselves before then. Again, the skeletal ring of the station fills your mind. It sparks with glittering lights, like stars reflected in a winter lake. It is clearer, crisper than before. The threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads you see bright shapes, catches of shimmering light beneath. Transparent crystal forms. You follow the path of a thread across the ring, through these forms, then leaping off into the void. You begin to understand these are nodes and connections, a map of information, of communication. There are so many layers, so many loops that it seems almost impossible to pass, but you begin to try. Focus on the nodes. We don't need to know about the connections, we need to know about the places, I would say. The nodes are glassy, bright, but in all this flow, the only solid and fixed point. You approach one, a pyramid or a triangle. Dimensions are difficult here, and lean close to it. Inside, shifting layers conceal a tangle of threads, a meeting point of exchange. But before you can glimpse inside, the glass clouds and hardens, cutting you off. The threads and nodes, passages and puzzle boxes, one leads to another. There is so much here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow the paths and open the boxes. You look out across the ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. But then, that insistent tugging again, pulling at you. You look down again and see 2 lines, 2 threads pulling in different directions, as if they were tied around you. The first thread leads out, away from the station, into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They're in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle. Oh shit. The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it, and this time you see something, a sphere shimmering above a strange angular body. A pulse shoots out from it, passing out over you like a torch beam, testing you, tasting you. You open your eyes. Time is short. Okay, someone is out there tracking you, following your trail. It won't be long before they arrive, and there's also someone inside the station? Tutorial: the cloud. Something has changed inside you. You can now access the data cloud of the eye, a network of decaying protocols and data caches. While there, you can use dice and items to access systems and extract data, but be careful, these networks are old and strange. Press Y to toggle this view on and off. Ooh. Honestly, what do I go for? I should check that out. That's in my area, right? Oh, sure. Data actions allow you to extract data from the networks of the eye. They work like dice actions, but in order to unlock them, you must match your die to the one displayed on the right of the action. If you have a +1 or +2 modifier in the interface skill, you'll be given more possible dice to match. You can use any dice that matches the dice displayed. Once unlocked, the data can be extracted. To continue. Okay, so because we've got a +1, we can do a 2 or a 3. And we've got a 2, so let's do it, I suppose. Because 2's a bit useless, isn't it? +1 Havenge data. Okay, what does that mean? A cache of raw data from Havenge hardware. Okay. What's the Y saying now? Oh, that's me swapping between 2 things. Okay, so I could get another bit and that would unlock some more information. So maybe I do want to do a key node because this is around where I live. So what's this one need? A 1 or a 3. We don't have that, so we can't do that. What else we got? Oh shit, sorry, hang on. This gate conceals a network of systems which have been untouched since the Solheim collapse. Input 1 Solheim Sci-Fi. I do not have a Solheim Sci-Fi. Oh, 3 or 2. Nice. Okay. So we'll do another 2. Extract data. Encrypted key. A stream of passcodes able to unlock the station's aging maglocks. Wow, okay. As you drift back from the node, something latches onto you. Oh yeah, because we had the 2, didn't we? The 2. We had to fill up 2 bars. Now it looks like we have to fill up 6. As you drift back from the node, something latches onto you. A thread strung tight around you. It tethers you in place. A taste. The voice makes you shiver. Its source somehow both distant and close behind your ear. You see a distant glint of light shut off, and then suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark, like a wolf. Entity unknown. Astringent. Processing. Resist. You struggle against the threads and it tightens in response. A glittering garrote. Please hold. Wow, that is a hell of a image, isn't it? A sentient protocol unraveling. The thread around you thickens until it is a ring, a cylinder, a tunnel of light circled around you. It is binding for a moment and then it is gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles, reading you. What are you? The shape paces around you on lithe legs, though there is no ground here to pace on. Entity, identify, origin, serial, cadence. The figure faces you expectantly. Sleeper, ascent up? Unknown, known. The figure's strange head rotates. Brackish signature, off and not off. Of and not of. Attempting interface. As the figure speaks more, threads begin to spiral around its head, thick, snaking, vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. Run. You kick off and glide away through the cloud, the threads surging after like predatory tentacles. They follow, wrapping the space around you until you are held within a web, a tangle of tentacles closing in. Stop! Hunter halts its threads, its head twitching. Entity. Your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal rights is right to sentience? I'm a person. Incorrect. You are an entity. All at once, Hunter's head is directly in front of yours, blocking your vision. You stink of their taste. The one from the sealed dock. Hunter shimmers with fury. I will find access. I will interface. Sealed dock? An entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet. Hunter extends a razor-edged thread. I will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. Strike. You lash out with all your force. Not a physical strike, but a focusing, a spike of interference leaping out like a tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, separates, wakes up. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station light, shaking with fear. Okay, if we do 6 more things, we'll piss them off, by the looks of things. What is this? Ah, that's what we hacked. Okay. And this is also what we hacked. Understood now. Okay, she's not finished yet. She's still working on it. One more and we'll get that done. Right, we do need to eat something. So in case we need a dice for whatever reason, we need to go there. Hopefully 60 is enough food-wise. Emphys spice fungus is one of the few things potent enough to stimulate your limited taste sensors. It's incredible stuff. Start action for cryo. Neutral outcome. Oh wow, we can get things up there. +3 energy. Okay, good to know. It's only +3 energy. Oh, I wish that stayed on longer. I think it did something else, but I'm not sure. Your mouth stings as your sensorium sends warning signals over and over. This is good stuff. Fungus fan. Emphys doesn't trust people easily, but he notices his regular customers in his own quiet way. Okay, well, we've got energy. I need to know whether being empty will starve or whether being less than empty is starving, so we'll have to see that. I mean, we kind of have to test that one, I think. So let's go to work. We've got to at least work for him once a day, and we've got 5, so we should use a 5. 100% positive. Let's do it. Positive outcome, back in business, +2, +15 cryo. Nice. Alright, time to bed then. Okay, well, decent dice. Hunting's still coming. As you close up, a voice echoes down the corridor towards you. Sleeper, wait up! Turn. Oh, it's Feng. Hi, Feng. I don't know. Don't know who you are. Havinger, systems engineer. Feng is coming down the corridor towards you, a wonky grin on his face. Hey, glad I caught you. Do I know you? He grins. You do now. He puts a hand on your arm. I've seen you hanging around. Just want to chat. You staying in that thing? He nods back to the container, shaking his head. Rough. It can be hard to get a start on the eye. He looks way down the passage. What was it old Erlin said? The eye opens for us all. Nice idea, but well, not always very practical. He glances back at you. We do our best, but it isn't easy. We? You pass together into the main walkway. Havinge, we're all one dysfunctional family. Feng puts an arm around you. I'm not part of the security branch, though. Don't worry, I'm with systems. Systems? Everything the eye runs on. He runs a hand along the passage wall. This place is a ruin, but systems keeps it spinning somehow. At least we try to. He stops you in the quiet passage. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I saw you around and, well, I know a little about you sleepers. I have a little proposition for you. He glances around. But, well, this is not the place for it. I have an office, just across the way. Give me a cycle or two to prepare, then, when you are settled, stop by. He lowers his voice and gives you a dark look. In truth, I need you. If what they say is true about you sleepers, well, there's work to be done. He pats you on the back, his voice bright and his dark look suddenly gone. Stay clean, sleeper. He walks off down the passage, raising a hand in farewell. Alright, I like Feng. I dig Feng. Where is Feng? Has he got a little spinner somewhere? Not that I can see. But first thing first is we absolutely need to go here. So let's do that. The first thing you see on entering is the glint of Toshiro's implants, like a cat's eye, in the dark of the corridor. He nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark, and you push through the sheeting into the surgery. I have it! Sabine stands with a case open in front of them, a set of vials lined up inside, separated by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light. I have no idea how Yatagan the trail off. We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be. I don't want to be disrespectful. Like, this is the thing. I don't care is disrespectful, and I'm the test. Yeah, that seems desperate, and that seems disrespectful to them trying to help us out. Although I'm sure they're going to be using it to extort us. But let's ask the question. That seems to be the case. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we have enough choice. We have another choice. They gesture for you to sit on the bed. The stabilizer works under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant in a transplant operation, in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part is each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign material and therefore must be eliminated. Sabine holds up a vial of would-be stabilizer. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein chains, which act as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its organs. Which means the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system. They glance away. At least if the stabilizer is genuine, the only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. They begin readying the syringe. It will start with a small dose to limit. I will start with a small dose to limit the risk. Okay, let's do it. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe, and you watch as if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection, but with little response. A sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzing, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and when it returns, Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you settle back against the bed. You swim in darkness, muffled noises like an argument heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their slate. Awake? Yes. The stabilizer is genuine. They sit down beside the bed. I don't know how Yatagan acquired a case of this stuff, but they did. Sabine looks troubled, distracted. You should rest some more, but you are going to have to do something else. They gesture to the door. I have other patients, sorry. Sabine nods towards the case. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You're going to need to pay for your next dose. Silence fills the room and they return to their glowing slate. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things moved or shifted. You wonder how long you have been out. Sabine? Nothing comes free, sleeper. Remember that. You manage to get to your feet and wander out into the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. Hey, we're stable! We're going to get so much more energy. Get so many more things done. Cool. So, does it say how much it's going to cost us? 100. Very expensive. That's to be expected. We need to find out if we're going to starve when we eat at this place. But I think I need to find it out. So let's do it. Let's go to the yard. We're going to help out our buddy. I think risky's... Oh, I don't want a negative. I just can't risk a negative. Let's do some more of this stuff, actually. Because I want to see what doing these door codes would do if we can do it again. It's a 1 or a 3. I kind of want to use a 3 or a 4. Just want to use the 2. Right, let's do that. Okay, some more Havenge data. Still don't know what that's for yet, but out of interest, and the hunter is coming back again. But if I switch out of it, is that... Yeah, that door's being done more now. I would like to have done the other one, but I don't want to waste a 3 or 4. I've got to work for it, I really do. So let's keep working, and we'll do. Do I want... What's the risk with a 4 again? Alright, I'm going to risk a 4, but 3 or lower I'm not going to risk. Neutral outcome. Back in business, plus 15 in cryo. Nice. Right, and then we'll do manual salvage here. A 50% chance of succeeding. Hey, and we did it. Nice. So back in business is now done. Does that mean anything? Or... Oh, we got a new conversation with Dragos because of that. You arrive into a buzz of activity at the yard. Red blinking lights flash across a vast arc shape suspended below the dome. They flicker across scorched hull plates and bent structures, spilling from holes in the twisted shape. The cutter is huge and has been torn apart in some violent encounter. She's the beauty, ain't she? Isn't she? Dragos stands to the side, focused on the hulking ship as it is lowered into the yard. What is it? Drago laughs. That, my friend, is A-grade scrap. I should thank you. This place was on its last legs when you turned up, and now look at this. The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm as Dragos for this monstrous craft. You can't help but think of what became of its crew. What happened? What do you mean? He glanced at you. I managed to convince our salvager friends to give it to me on credit. That's what happened. No, what happened to the ship? Not my concern, he shrugs. The ship creaks like a carving iceberg as it reaches the base of the yard. Dragos is visibly excited. I know I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm going to need some help with this one. The drones start to crawl over the hulk, their lights illuminating flashes of dented hull. Watching, you wonder if you arrived in a similar fashion, locked inside the container, the wreck of the Epson ARP freighter lowered into the yard like a corpse ready to be butchered. Or was the container delivered to Dragos on its own, a womb for your rebirth into this strange station? You shudder. Perhaps if you could learn something about this ship, you might be able to trace the path that led you to this yard. Dragos squeezes your shoulder. After these past cycles, I think we are up to it. What do you think? You see the fading name of the ship emblazoned on the side. Winter Light. Let's do it. We're very positive. I like this. He claps you on the back. Glad to hear it. Come back in a few and we'll make a start. A real beauty, Dragos repeats. Perhaps just to himself. You take one last look at the shattered ship as the drones start cutting, and then slip out of the yard, feeling suddenly cold to the empty passage. So, drive complete, +1 upgrade point. We've got an upgrade point! 3 minutes before the end of the video. You've completed your first drive. Each drive completed unlocks an upgrade point to spend on upgrading your character. That is awesome. Okay, so we have 1 point to spend somewhere. How do I... So, do I have to click upgrade? Oh, that seems to have locked me. Oh, hang on. That was a bit funny. Oh, that's problematic. It seems to be moving the screen from behind. There we go. I have to click it. Oh, it's bugged. Oh no, can I not upgrade? It's still moving the stuff at the back. Oh no. Okay, I've got it. Okay. It look like I had to press left on the D-pad. So, we can only do one thing. We can either remove our negative, which would probably be worthwhile to be fair. Or we can improve anything. So, efficient extractor, chance to gain random scrap item on engineer actions. To be fair, we do a lot of that. That might be solid. We can't do icebreaker. Intuit, predictive reasoning, dice actions display potential positive and negative outcomes. That's quite cool. Is that for everything? Thrill seeker, chance to gain energy after any engage action. But engage actions, I'm sure, are all really dangerous. I got to do engineer. That seems to be my role at the moment. I'm building a life, so I think engineer makes sense. We'll go for that for now. But it is good to know that we've got some things. So we've got study the winter light and get to know Memphis. Right, let's see if starving happens. Hopefully we just go down one layer. Okay, we are. So we're only now starving. That's good to know. So we're only just starving. Yes, it seems it saves a little bit for us. So that's really good. Okay, cool. So we can now go to him and buy some food. Plus energy and fungus fan. Cool. Okay, and we can do that again next time. Alright, cool. Good to know. Oh, hello. What's this? Scrap freighter. Oh, is this a new scrap freighter? No? Maybe? Most of what comes in from the starboard belt is corroded trash, but sometimes something valuable can be found among the salvage. Buy some scrap. Scrap allowance. The big stuff goes to the shipyard, the valuable stuff to the markets. They'll let you buy a few crates, but not much more. Offloading scrap sets a clock. Oh, that's timer. Let me stop that. Freighter still will stay docked for as many cycles as it takes to offload the haul of scrap into the Haven's yards. Okay. And then we've got the unload freighters. The freighter crew are eager to get their payload into the Ort exchange, and they'll pay a wage to anyone willing to do it. But that's an endure, so it's a danger. Tempted to buy some. I've got some money, and I've got quite a bit of health for a while, so that's quite good. We've obviously got conversation. Is that a conversation there? Oh, with Feng. Okay. Shipyard. So have we got an option to do here? So winter light will be done by a forensic trawl. Investigating the winter light means picking through its systems and structures with care. It won't pay, but you may find answers. So that's good for an upgrade. It'll take a while though by the looks of things. Cutter salvage. It's engineer. I thought we just got a plus to engineer. Didn't we just get a plus to engineer? But I didn't think that was engineer. I thought that was endure. Oh, we're not on +1. We're just on a bit. Oh, I see. Okay. So there's -1, 0, 0 with a perk, +1 with a perk, +1 with 2 perks, +2 with 2 perks. I see. So it's a trail. So I've gained the perk of a chance to gain random scrap item on engineer actions, but I'm not actually at +1. I see. That makes sense. Okay, let me give that a go then, because I would like. I mean, there's lots of things I would like to do, but I most definitely would like to do a danger one with a guaranteed success. Shipbreaking is tougher than slicing up loose salvage, but Dragos is happy to pay you a fixed wage if you're up to it. +2 to yard clearance, +16 crypto. So it's not a lot of crypto, but we did do it. Positive or neutral. Yeah, we'll spend one more on that. Positive outcome, +2 yard clearance, and +16 crypto. That's really good. Drago's nerve. Drago seems increasingly nervous about your presence in the yard. You're not sure he's going to hold his nerve much longer. There's quite a few clocks, but it does look like, so that seems like we're going to have to make our money while we can. So that means we also need to do winter light stuff while we can, because if I can understand some things, I can get an upgrade, which is very important by the looks of things. Like, those upgrades are huge. History or no, this ship is salvaged, as Dragos always says. Break it down, move it on. So we don't want to break it up too much as well, because we won't be able to learn anything from it. But there's this thing here, but that's going to leave as time goes on. Man, this is there's so many options. You really can't do everything, can you? That's really good. Like, it's frustrating because you want to be able to do everything, but man, there are a lot of decisions to make in this. But I'm going to give this a pause now, and yeah, we'll have a little talk about it. So that is Sleeper Citizen, and my god, how fucking awesome was that game? Like, genuinely in love with that type of game. Very what's the word I'm looking for? Very well written. So that's not the word I was trying to find a second ago, but I'm moving on. Very well written. Very cerebral. That's the word I was looking for. Very cerebral. Very. I don't know if it's quite a strategy, although there's certainly strategy elements into it. But it's not skill based so much as it's really thinking things through, playing luck. Because I know luck adds a bit of randomness to it, but you can strategize with that. Do you want to risk something on something? You know, you've got a definite win. So play your definite wins in the risky things and risk things in the safe stuff. It's really, really well done. Like, I'm so sad I have to stop. Like, maybe we need to do like a 5-hour in for this one, because it was awesome. I'm so glad I gave that a go as well. Like, it's the type of game that I would never play this without the Game Pass. I would never play this game. You know, how would you go around finding this? How does this get recommended to you? How do people find games these days? You hear about the AAAs, you hear about the big stuff. Obviously, people who've got Steam, they get random recommendations and stuff. But I would never have found this. Not in a million years. Not unless it was somehow someone found it and sent it to me. But the fact that it's on the Game Pass, the fact that the Game Pass updates each, week, and it's like, here's a new game, and I'm like, all right, let's check out what these new games are. And I saw this, and I was like, this looks really cool, and it was. Oh my god, it's so awesome. I literally enjoyed every minute of that. There was nothing there. I'm so glad it's written well. It's really well described. I love all of the mechanics in place. I love the energy system, so the dangers of that, and how that can make things harder because you're losing energy, so you're struggling to be able to do so much stuff. I love that everything has a cost and a benefit. The more you dick about, I mean, we've got this hunter that's potentially coming to the station, so maybe I need to start finding out more stuff about the station before the hunter arrives. I'm sure there's probably so many different ways you can play this game to try and min-max it to the best possible options you can do, because for the most part it's probably quite repeatable, other than the few random chances, because you know where you start from and you know the rewards for stuff. Sure, some random things might get given to you here and there, especially with, like, we've now got a new add-on, a new perk which gives us a chance for some new stuff when we complete an engineer action. But yeah, I imagine it's probably quite repeatable, so you probably can meta it to the point where what is the best possible order to do things in to get the most out of it. But yeah, I think it's much better when you have no idea. Like, I don't know what the hunter arrives. Does the hunter arrive and suddenly I'm going to have to fight them off? Does the hunter arrive and now certain areas in the space station are locked off? Does the hunter arrive and I immediately game over, so I needed to find some way to delay him? Like, there's all these sorts of things, and it's just so well done, because it is really clever and is really well thought out, but at the same time it is quite simple. I mean, you start off with 3 actions. You've got 3 actions. What are you going to do? You know, it sets things very clearly with their percentages and stuff. And sure, those perks seem to be quite expansive, but it's not overly complicated. I just, yeah, wow, really quite blown away from that. I look forward to talking to Feng, finding out different options, different upgrades, different processes. I thought that was awesome. But other than that, I think I'm going to leave it there. So thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Shotgun Squirrel out.